Your brain is shrinking right now, not because you are getting older, but because of what you do every single day. Scientists have proven that normal everyday habits are literally killing your brain cells. The scary part? You think these things are harmless. Everyone does them. But if you have been feeling foggy lately, if you forget things more than you used to, if you just feel dumber, this video will explain why. Some of these habits are going to shock you. And the last one, it is probably the most dangerous thing you are doing to your brain right now. Let's start with something you have heard a million times, but probably ignore. Not drinking enough water. Yeah, I know it sounds boring, but listen to this. Your brain is about 75% water. When you do not drink enough, your brain actually shrinks, like physically gets smaller. Scientists did brain scans on people who were just a little bit dehydrated, not dying of thirst, just normal everyday dehydration, like most of us walk around with. And they found that their brains had less gray matter. That is the part of your brain that does all the thinking. Even worse, when your brain shrinks like this, you have to work way harder to do the same mental tasks. It's like trying to run a race with a backpack full of rocks. Your brain is fighting against you. And if you keep doing this day after day, year after year, the damage adds up. Your memory gets worse. Your focus disappears. You feel tired all the time, all because you are not drinking enough water. The crazy thing is, most people don't even realize they are dehydrated. If you feel thirsty, you are already behind. Your brain needed water an hour ago. But that's not even the worst part, because at least with water, you can fix it pretty fast. The next habit is something that millions of people do for 8 to 10 hours every single day, sitting all day and not moving. You might be doing it right now. Here's what happens when you sit for hours without moving. Your blood flow slows down, less blood gets to your brain, and your brain runs on blood. It needs oxygen and nutrients that blood carries. When you cut off that supply, your brain starts to suffer. Studies show that people who sit for most of the day have a thinner medial temporal lobe. That is the part of your brain that makes new memories. It's like your brain's save button, and sitting is slowly breaking it. This is not just about being out of shape. You could go to the gym for an hour and still be in danger if you sit the rest of the day. Scientists call it sitting disease now, because even if you exercise, sitting for long periods still damages your brain. The solution sounds too simple to be real, but it works. Just stand up and move for 2 minutes every hour. Walk around, do some squats, anything. Your brain will thank you. Now, here's one that hits different in today's world. Not talking to people face to face. We text, we message, we leave voice notes, but actual real conversations, face to face, most people barely do that anymore, and your brain hates it. When you talk to someone in person, your brain lights up like a Christmas tree. It's reading their facial expressions, picking up on their tone of voice, noticing their body language, processing emotions, making predictions about what they will say next. All of that keeps your brain sharp, but when you replace real conversations with texts and messages, you lose all of that. Your brain doesn't have to work as hard. And just like a muscle, when your brain doesn't work, it gets weaker. Studies show that people who are socially isolated have smaller brains, especially in the areas that control memory and emotion. Even worse, loneliness and isolation increase your risk of dementia by 50%. 50%! That's massive. And it's not just about being around people. You can be in a crowd and still be isolated. What matters is real connection, real conversations where you look someone in the eyes and actually listen. This next one is going to hurt because almost everyone does it. Doing many tasks at once. We call it multitasking, and we think it makes us more productive. We think it makes us smarter, but science says the exact opposite. Your brain cannot actually focus on 2 things at once. What it does instead is switch back and forth really fast. And every time it switches, it loses a little bit of power. Studies show that people who multitask all the time have less density in the anterior cingulate cortex. That is the part of your brain that controls focus and emotional regulation. Basically, the more you multitask, the worse you get at focusing, and the worse you get at controlling your emotions. You become more anxious, more stressed, less able to finish anything. And here is the really scary part. Heavy multitaskers perform worse on tests than people who just focus on one thing at a time, even when they think they are doing great. Your brain is lying to you. It is telling you that you are being super productive, when really you are just spinning your wheels, making yourself dumber with every task you try to juggle. Speaking of stress, let's talk about something almost nobody does anymore. No quiet time for your brain. No breaks. No moments of just sitting and thinking. We fill every single second with noise, music, podcasts, videos, scrolling. Even when we are doing nothing, we are doing something, and your brain desperately needs silence. When you give your brain quiet time, something amazing happens. It goes into what scientists call the default mode network. This is when your brain processes everything you learned that day. It makes connections. It solves problems you were stuck on. It basically cleans itself out and organizes everything. But if you never give it that time, all that stuff just piles up. Your brain gets cluttered, overwhelmed. Studies show that people who meditate or just spend time in silence have thicker cortexes. That is the outer layer of your brain that does all the high-level thinking. They also have better memory and less anxiety. You do not need to become a meditation guru. Even 5 minutes of just sitting quietly can make a difference. No phone, no music, just you and your thoughts. Most people can't even do it for 1 minute. They get uncomfortable. But that discomfort is your brain begging for a break. All right, this next one is going to make a lot of people mad, but science does not lie. Eating too much sugar and junk food. Yeah, you've heard it before, but do you know what it actually does to your brain? Sugar causes inflammation, and inflammation in your brain kills cells. It also messes with something called BDNF. That is basically a growth hormone for your brain. It helps you make new connections and learn new things. When you eat a lot of sugar, your BDNF levels drop. Your brain stops growing. It starts shrinking instead. Studies show that people who eat a lot of processed food and sugar have smaller hippocampuses. That is your memory center. They also score lower on memory tests. And here is the really unfair part. Sugar is addictive. It hits the same parts of your brain as drugs. So the more you eat, the more you want. And the more you want, the dumber you get. It's a vicious cycle. And don't think you are safe just because you don't eat candy all day. Sugar hides in everything. Bread, sauce, drinks, even stuff that says healthy on the label. Your brain is drowning in sugar, and you might not even know it. Now, let's talk about something that is destroying an entire generation's brains. Short videos scrolling for hours. TikTok, Reels, Shorts, YouTube, whatever platform you use. These short videos are engineered to be addictive, and they are really good at it. But here is what they do to your brain. Every time you scroll to a new video, you get a little hit of dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical. Your brain loves it. But after a while, your brain gets used to those constant hits. It starts to need them. Normal life becomes boring. Reading a book, too slow. Having a conversation, not stimulating enough. Your brain rewires itself to only pay attention to things that are fast and flashy. Scientists call this continuous partial attention. You are always looking for the next thing, never fully focused on anything. Studies show that people who spend hours on short-form video have shorter attention spans, worse memory, and more anxiety and depression. The algorithm learns what keeps you watching and feeds you more of it. You think you're in control, but you're not. Your brain is being trained like a dog. And the more you watch, the harder it becomes to do anything that requires real focus, like work or learning, or even just talking to someone without checking your phone. We are getting to the really bad ones now. This next habit is probably affecting you right this second. Living with constant stress. A little bit of stress is fine. Actually, it is good for you. It keeps you sharp. But chronic stress, the kind that never goes away, that is a brain killer. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol. In small amounts, cortisol is helpful. But when it is flooding your system all day, every day, it destroys brain cells, especially in the hippocampus. That is your memory center again. Studies show that people with chronic stress have smaller brains. They score worse on memory tests. They have trouble learning new things. And the worst part, stress creates more stress. When your brain is damaged by cortisol, you handle stress worse, so you get more stressed, which releases more cortisol, which damages your brain more. It is a death spiral, and most people do not even realize they're stressed. They think it is just normal life. But your body is screaming, your brain is drowning, and every day you ignore it, the damage gets worse. You need to find a way to manage stress. Exercise, meditation, therapy, whatever works for you. Because if you don't, your brain will pay the price. All right, we are almost at the top. And this one is probably the most common brain shrinker in the modern world. Sleeping less than 7 hours. Everyone knows sleep is important, but most people still do not get enough. They think they can get by in 5 or 6 hours. Maybe they brag about it. But here's what's really happening. During sleep, your brain cleans itself. There's a system called the glymphatic system that washes away all the toxic waste that builds up during the day. But that system only works when you are in deep sleep. If you are not sleeping enough, all that junk stays in your brain. It builds up, and over time, it causes serious damage. Studies show that people who consistently sleep less than 7 hours have smaller brains. They have higher rates of Alzheimer's and dementia, and their memory and thinking skills decline faster as they age. Sleep is not a luxury. It's not something you can catch up on over the weekend. Your brain needs it every single night, and when you skip it, you are literally poisoning yourself. The science is crystal clear. Less sleep equals a smaller brain equals worse life. And now for the #1 habit that is secretly shrinking your brain, the most dangerous one, the one that ties all the others together. Poor sleep and no deep rest routine. This is different from just not getting enough hours. This is about the quality of your sleep and your entire approach to rest. Most people do not have a wind-down routine. They scroll their phones until the second they try to fall asleep. They watch TV in bed. They drink caffeine late in the day. They eat big meals before bed. All of this destroys your sleep quality. Even if you are in bed for 8 hours, you might only be getting 4 hours of actual restorative sleep. And that's when your brain does its most important work. Deep sleep is when your brain consolidates memories, when it repairs damage, when it recharges for the next day. Without deep sleep, everything else falls apart. Your mood, your focus, your memory, your ability to handle stress, all of it depends on getting real, deep, quality sleep. And most people have completely forgotten how to do it. They treat sleep like an inconvenience, something that gets in the way of productivity. But the truth is the opposite. Sleep makes you more productive, smarter, happier, healthier. Studies show that people with poor sleep quality lose brain volume faster than people who sleep well. They age faster. They die younger. This is not just about feeling tired. This is about your brain slowly dying because you will not give it the rest it needs. But here is the good news. All of this is fixable. Every single habit on this list can be changed. Your brain is incredible. It can heal, it can grow, it can rewire itself. Scientists call it neuroplasticity. No matter how much damage you have done, you can start fixing it today. Drink more water, move your body, talk to real people, focus on one thing at a time. Give your brain some quiet. Eat real food. Put down your phone. Manage your stress. And for the love of everything, get some real sleep. You do not have to fix everything at once. Just pick one thing. Start there. Your brain will start healing immediately. If this video opened your eyes to what you are doing to yourself, hit that subscribe button, because we're gonna keep making videos that actually help you get smarter, not dumber. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, send it to them. Their brain will thank you.